Venom. Venom. My, if you ever heard what I heard in the night, what fright must have been a parasite in my past life. I don't wanna ever come down from a high. My soul was sending to the sky. Guess it's you and I, gone, but I'm feeling too alive. Trying to get me out of spite. Someone's some kind of traumatic shit. Niggas wanna see dead bodies, probably not there, rolling with no automatic clips. Moving scatty, all erratic and shit. Niggas pussy licking batty and shit. Oh, you mad? Then come at me, you prick. Make a move, better pattern it quick. I assume you'll be coming for blood. That makes two of us, that makes two of us. Venom. 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 Truth is a stick up, hands in the air, put the money in the bag, all cash, all cash. Venom. Venom. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, so I had a recording for this initially, but my headset took the piss, and it's such a shame because that means my headset's fucked, and I got to look into that. Which, wow, Best Buy warned me too. Fuck. But luckily for me, I have tons of headsets. Did a test on the Corsair. My Corsair works. No reason I was even using the other one because the Corsair was dead. Well, now I'm have them plugged in. So let us begin with this topic. So, Snarky J, I gotta be honest with you. I looked into this video, and people had issues with it. A certain group that I don't really like watching, and this is one of the reasons why. And I gotta be honest with you guys. Few things, and I'm going to cover this part of it real quick before I get into the actual video at hand. The OnlyFans thing. So now I have my phone in hand, and I'm not doing anything completely untoward with it. I'm not using my phone for, means that are. I'm gonna shut up. Yeah. But let's look. I'm gonna look up her damn Instagram, and this will tell me everything I need to know about Snarky J. Won't be that hard to find out. Let's see. Nope. 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 Not seeing it. Not seeing it. Not seeing it. Not seeing. I mean, some of it's a little untoward. Maybe. I mean, it's a little bit. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the part where. Yeah, I'm not seeing it now. I mean, I ain't saying all of it's saying this ain't bad. It's not bad, but I mean, I'm not seeing the whole part of the OnlyFans part. Now, why am I saying OnlyFans? Because the whole implication and the I guess the idea is Snarky J is only popping because she is a OnlyFans type, but she factually does not have an OnlyFans. Also, her content is a little bit revealing, yeah, but so she has the goods and she shows it off. Oh no. Yeah, I just wanted to cover that. That needs to be addressed and stamped out with post haste, and I have done that. The whole grifter narrative, I think, is pretty stupid. See, a grifter would be knowingly lying and trying to portray something that they aren't for profit and gain, and that's not what she does because she doesn't need to do that. She's well off and doesn't need to do that at all. I don't understand why that word is so overused to the point where I don't even take it seriously. So without further dudes and dudettes and whatever, give me a minute. All right, let us get into this video. And shut up, woman. That sounded wrong in context. I'm sorry. That sounds wrong in context. Not even out of context. My bad. Nah, I'm joking for real. Nah, listen. I switched up my setup. I am not using the Surface setup anymore with the full portable screen. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. It keeps falling over. I can't do it no more. Also, it lags. 8 gigs of RAM was not a good choice to try and do content on. My bad. That was stupid. I put too much pressure on that thing, and now it'll be used what it needs to be used for. Watching movies and shit. I'm going to carry that thing around with me now. It's my baby. So anyways.
Pre-sales are already nearing $4 million, so a $30 million weekend sounds like it might be really doable, especially considering all the Star Wars fans out there that are going to want to go experience this again, and folks like myself who were too young to watch the prequels in theaters, and quite frankly, I am so tempted to go all out in cosplay.
Damn, girl, how fucking old are you? I'm like That's an excuse. I was like 7 or 8 at the time, and I sat there and watched that goddamn movie in theaters. That's an excuse. Wait, how old is she? Wait, actually, how old is she? Because I need to know how old she is. Like, you look like you're 27. I would say it's a good ask. She's not 27, is she? Anyways, simping here. I'm simping over here. I'm sorry. I don't know. But anyways, back to the content at hand.
Cosplay for this one. Now I want to get down to brass tacks here, because 25 to 30 million dollars as a box office opening weekend might not sound fantastic if this was an all-new film. A company like Disney being able to rake in 25 to 30 million dollars on just re-releasing a film that they already own, and if Disney had made the prequels, a film that they already made. All you're really spending is...
So I'm gonna skip along in the video because I've talked about this already before in a previous recording that was again thrown out because my headset took the piss. So we're gonna actually do the smart thing here. I'm gonna skip along. So my summary of this entire, like the entire first run of this video is: listen, guys like me and Chris, we have some nostalgia to us. All right, we have nostalgic wants. Here's the thing. I don't understand what's wrong with re-releasing classics and versus trying to remake them. Now, Star Wars is never going to have that problem. You're not going to quote unquote remake Revenge of the Sith. You're not going to try and redo that. That would be simply, the movie is not. It's a live action movie, so that's just well, that actually isn't a good example. Let me make this. The movie's not meant to be remade because you're meant to add on to it. So that makes no fucking sense. But when I say like a movie like Lilo and Stitch, I'm vehemently against the idea of remaking that movie because I'd rather just re-release it into theaters so kids could watch it in theaters for the first time and watch that modern classic, and we could all celebrate it again. I have no problem celebrating movies, so I don't know why we just don't do that. That's just me though. I also don't like the idea of having to sit there and uh hope that these movies are good and have anxiety about it. No, I want to know. Like, sorry, let me rephrase this. I want to go in to a movie that I loved as a kid and just get to have the experience again. It's not even just about. It's not really about the movie itself. It's the experience, and I want these kids to experience the classics for what they are. Yes, am I okay with the idea of them remaking Lilo and Stitch because it'll drive kids to the original? Yes, but do I really want that? No, I want them to actually just re-release the fucking shit in the theaters where it belongs. I'd give anything for Cars to get re-released in the theaters. Me and Chris will be there. We'll watch it in IMAX. You're goddamn right. You tell two dumbasses like us, hey, dumb fucks, do you want to sit in a fucking theater and hear car vibrations for like the next 2 hours? Fuck yeah, I'm there, motherfucker. Let's go.
Lose faith in your company, or you re-release something that's admittedly pretty well reviewed, $30 million. Boom.
Now, granted, it doesn't work for everything, of course. Not classic. Maybe Cars will make you go on like maybe 17 mil of fucking for a weekend. I don't know if it'll hit 30 mil. You might hit 40 mil for Nemo if you were to re-release Nemo in the theaters and make that into a celebration. Yeah, you might hit a bunch of cash. Yeah, you re-release like maybe like Empire Strikes Back. Oh my god, this is genius. You're gonna make some money. I mean, look, Revenge of the Sith was a classic. I don't care what I mean. If it wasn't for the fucking dialogue, it would be undoubtedly, without question, no argumentative bullshit. Everything aside, the greatest Star Wars movie ever concepted in the history of mankind. But unfortunately, that will have to remain with Empire Strikes Back, which I think personally no, but it will because the dialogue isn't written by a 5-year-old on acid. I don't tell you. I mean, dude, there is oh my god, that rewatching it again. Oh, some of the dialogue. I'm just looking at Anakin like, are you touched? I'm terrible, but seriously. By the way, seeing Hayden Christensen drink out of a Vader cup in the most hilarious pose possible. Thank you. I needed that. I want that Vader cup, by the way. I will fight you for it, good sir. Hayden Christensen, if you ever watch this video, I will fight you for that Vader cup. I'm coming for you for that Vader cup. Just for that. I don't care. I am that. I need that Vader cup. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. This is coming from the idiot that spent like fucking $50 on a goddamn Vader popcorn bucket, but that's just me.
Now, this might only be a temporary solution to the lack of originality problem in Hollywood. Realistically, if you were to ask me, how could I solve this remake, reboot crisis? I would suggest hiring people with talent to write things. Gee, I mean, if we're getting crazy, right, developing original ideas would be something I would suggest. Both of those could be things that could happen. But regardless, we've already seen that Hollywood has very little intentions of being creative ever again. They continuously do either.
So one of the things that I will say is that Hollywood really sucks at this one. By the way, I want to give out my condolences and my support to the New Jersey Devils hockey fans in this video. My God, what a collapse. I'm looking at ESPN. That's a mistake on my part. Never do that. I have problems. Oh, wow. Boston won their series. Fuck Boston. And fucking, oh, New York might choke away their series. Anyways, listen, listen up. Listen. I love the idea of wanting to say we need more originals, but people need to start maybe, I don't know, giving more things a chance instead of trying to listen to all these. Because I will say this, I'm so glad Thunderbolts is being well reviewed. I haven't heard a peep. Okay, that's a lie. I'm already seeing people try to poo-poo it, some of them, because they want to hate on their little narratives, and they're the cancers in all this that I just don't watch anymore. If you were to show me a Geeks and Gamers video, I'd slap it out of your hand. Like, no, I have standards and principles. I don't need to watch slop. I sound like Hassan Piker. I apologize. I hate that douchebag. But no, for real, like I don't watch that garbage ass content no more. It's fucking filth. But Hollywood needs to start upping their game. Clearly, it's been a constant problem, and I'm just saying the truth here, man. A lot of these movies fucking suck. There are really a lot of good ones out there. Like Sinners was amazing, apparently. I'm going to watch Thunderbolts, and I've heard nothing but phenomenal things, and I'm going to review the crap out of it too. It looks fucking great. It absolutely looks so well done, and it looks like the dialogue is going to be top notch. And I never usually like getting ads, but man, seeing the ad keep rolling in every time I watch a video of Valentina roasting the entire group is phenomenal. And my favorite's Red Guardian. She he I love how he learned from like the first movie to not be so fucking overdo it and be more humble as a character just in this one sequence. And then he goes, "I'm the Red Guardian." And then he goes, "Who?" And the look on his face, I started cackling, bro. I'm like, "Oh god, this movie's gonna be a classic." I mean, it's funny because you think about it, Valentina basically fucked all these people over, and you'll understand why. Even though it's pretty obvious why we all know Valentina's going to fuck them over. Valentina has been a constant pain in the ass over the last few Marvel projects, and because it's played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, it's actually perfect because only Julia Louis-Dreyfus could play a character that's absolutely fucking annoying, but it works because it's Julia fucking Louis-Dreyfus. But anyways, there are good movies out there. Just to conclude on this, but the problem is, with these remakes, of course, with these remakes, we're just like, dude, we're rehashing old shit when we could be just like, dude, we'll pay money just to go watch these things in theaters because the experience is just awesome. You ever think of that? And I'm not saying overdo it, but dude, I could rewatch. I mean, she did say in this video, like, oh, I don't see anyone really wanting to line up to watch Force Awakens re-released. I mean, it's like 10 years old. I'm like, speak for your fucking self. I will watch that re-released in theaters. Hell yeah, I'll go watch that again. Dude, nothing beats Han and Chewie stepping back in a Falcon one like that first time again. Ugh. Ugh. I just wish they didn't ruin it so bad that I didn't even fucking couldn't even celebrate fucking couldn't even celebrate Lando going in the Falcon one last time. They fucked up that whole trilogy. I don't want to talk about it. I mean, even in like the Last Jedi, guys, please tell me you didn't feel a fucking like you didn't feel like tearing up a little bit. Just like the feeling of when Luke stepped in the cockpit of the fucking Falcon. You didn't feel like you were 5 years old one last time. Like, holy shit. I mean, we all know we had that. And I'll say it. It was actually a better shot moment for me. Not a better moment, better shot. Better shot. Understand it's not a better moment. Just please don't be that guy. A better shot moment for me than The Mandalorian end of season 2, which was still a magnificent masterpiece. Disney's greatest scene of all time. Behind the Vader scene. It's still not going to beat the Vader scene. The only reason it will never beat the Vader scene for me it was so quick and so sudden. It wasn't focusing so much and trying to really throw out the angle of, yeah, we know Luke's going ham in there and everyone's going and you're enjoying it, but it wasn't done with the intent and purpose of almost like a forgiving shot to the fans or all the shit that we had to endure. It felt like with Rogue One, that scene was just like, yeah, Darth Vader's still Darth Vader, bitches. And let's just, and by the way, thank you to Disney for actually doing one thing right. Making Vader in every bit of media absolutely terrifying. Even the video games, Darth Vader is a fucking terrifying monster. And I absolutely love it.
Their legacy sequels.
I will say this Fallen Order, that was the best that I've ever seen Vader be introduced into any actual scene, including including the oh my god, including the original trilogy. Yes, including the original trilogy. That is the greatest. Like the scene where he kills Trilla, and you hear the music, you hear the breathing, you see her freeze. I don't know if he's using the Force on her or she's just genuinely frozen in fear. Either explanation works, and you just hear the footsteps of a heavy machine coming towards you. You know, oh shit, they didn't. They didn't. Drops down, and and you feel the weight of the Force on you, and then he just walks up and you just see Sear and Cal's I don't forget what he says. And he goes, "You failed me, Inquisitor." Of Vader and his grand. By the way, whoever did the voice of Vader, top notch. It wasn't James Earl Jones, but you could have told me it was James Earl Jones, and I would have actually believed you at that moment. He goes, "You have failed me, Inquisitor." Fucking slices her, and then fucking Seer. I love Seer, a badass to this day, one of the greatest Jedi's, one of my favorite Jedi's of all time. I don't care what anyone tells me. She goes, "Cal, run!" Just jumps out. Vader swipes left like it's fucking Tinder, and then just yeah, that's it. And he goes to Cal. You would be wise to surrender. And Cal's like, yeah, probably. I'm like, where's the surrender button right now? I lost. Okay, I lost. Okay, it's just in Star Killer. I get it. That's how you introduce Darth Vader. And that is like the best representation of Darth Vader I've ever seen. The second best will be fucking Rogue One when he's killing everyone.
Reboots/remakes for the modern audience, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. Or they do these soulless live action remakes, which it seems Disney is finally realizing maybe is not the key to making money, because they didn't really make much money on Mufasa, the sequel to The Lion King, which made a ton of money.
Yeah, this isn't accurate, by the way. It actually did make actually pretty good profit. It made more than Sonic 3, I'm pretty sure. Not to actually bet, because Sonic 3 is the much better movie. Do not get me fucking wrong here. No, understand what I'm telling you. It made more money than Sonic 3, so this is inaccurate. But yeah, if the real knows the real, yes, Sonic 3 was 10 times the fucking movie that fucking Mufasa was. Are you fucking kidding me? If Sonic had a way bigger, Sonic doesn't have the biggest fan base because they don't have a giant fan base in Japan. If they had a bigger fan base in Japan, I'm telling you that we would have fucking just obliterated records. That's the weird. That's the odd thing. A Japanese created character like Sonic, not beloved in Japan, is weird to me. I don't know why. You think that that character will be beloved because it's especially when America's done such a phenomenal job with it. I mean, if you were to tell me how to do live action Sonic on the big screen, they nailed it. Yeah, there's some inconsistency, some errors. I don't like the way they portrayed Sonic and Shadow's duel like rivalry. I feel like they overpowered Shadow and made everyone else like a bitch. Like in the video games, dude, everyone's much more evenly matched. Like I'll tell you right now, Knuckles ain't taking no shit from Shadow like that. Not like that. And Sonic and Shadow are dead even. People don't realize that unless you're watching West Side Live, who's a Glazer. Which hey, he admits it and he knows it, and that's fine. But no, sweetheart. No, there's no power scaling issues here. Uh, it's just this movie has been, and I get it. You gotta sell Shadow. I get it. But granted, I did love that chase scene in Tokyo. That was fucking phenomenal. But yes, Mufasa made more money. I think we kind of do. I haven't just show any more here. But anyways.
And they also are losing big time on Snow White, and the Little Mermaid live action remake was also a loss for them. So maybe
Another movie I don't understand. Again, just re-release it in the theaters. Why do we need a remake? I genuinely don't understand the tactics here. You're making I hope this proves if you want to be soulless and to just have a cash grab, can you please just throw these movies back in the theater so we could at least enjoy them? I'm fine being taken for a ride. Let me enjoy the ride. Take me for a ride, but let me enjoy the ride. Can I get back to that? Fuck.
Maybe 3 strikes, you're out for the live action remake thing. But if we want to look at 2024, which I think could potentially go down in history as one of the worst years for film to ever happen, if we look at the back end of 2024, we have The Crow. The Crow, the reboot slash remake that
Dear fucking God, this was so disappointing for me. And I have the steelbook. I have the steelbook. You're damn right I bought this shit. The artwork was absolutely impeccable and amazing, and I genuinely love it. No, that is my kickboxer one. Why do I have a kickboxer steelbook? What the fuck is wrong with me? Help me, Jesus. I don't even know where I put it. Oh, it's right here. I have it right here. I have the Crow on steel. This one, not the good one. This one. And you're goddamn right I bought that bitch. Hell yeah. No regrets. 10 out of 10. And you know what? This movie wasn't even that bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't strong, but that last act was disgusting and awesome. But I will say this. No. Stop. If you're going to do The Crow, can we have it in different time periods, different situations? Never mind. I'm done already talking about it.
literally nobody asked for, the one that people
We really didn't. And I'll be honest with you. It's because of the way you had to redo the story. We didn't want the story redone. I don't need Eric again. Ugh, so exhausting. There are multiple crows, but they could have done a literal time period anthology. Imagine if you were to do The Crow, but with a samurai, an actual samurai. It's just a revenge story. That's all it is. It's literally a story from an undead. It's an undead revenge story of the soul cannot rest until rights until things are put back to rights. So eye for an eye, shit like that. So until you basically bring someone to justice, which is murdering them and stabbing their larynx out, you cannot rest as a soul. So you can do that for anything. Guys, I will say this. I've said this 1,000 times. If you were to play Assassin's Creed Origins and then tell me that was a Crow story, yeah, I believe it. They could have written it where Bayek was brought back by a god, Set or Anubis, or the fuck which one you want to use, and said that was the Crow. Bayek qualifies as the Crow because Bayek, in fact, it's even better with Bayek because Bayek is trying to put his son's soul back to rest. He is trying to right the wrong of a misdeed to where they cut the boy's heart out. Yes, they cut his son's heart out to protect them in the afterlife. I shit you not. That's how fucked up religion was back in those days. So they fucking, what they did was, okay, all right, Bayek just went on a revenge tour, and that's why the Assassin's Creed Order was born, the hidden ones, but it's basically the predecessor to the Assassin's Order. It's the same shit. We're gonna kill everyone, and so we find the asshole who did it. But that was the point, to let him walk in the field of reed so his soul could rest. That's a Crow story. I don't care what anyone tells me. That's more of a Crow story than the original Crow story. God damn it, it's more endearing. But whatever, fuck y'all. Like, you don't need to do this shit. Give me time periods. We would watch the fuck. Do you know how many fucking motherfuckers would love to watch a revenge story each time with different, like a Viking Crow story would be sick. Different time periods, different beliefs, done in the same manner. But whatever, y'all can kiss my ass.
people found fundamentally disrespectful to the legacy of Brandon Lee, the young star.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't agree with you're twisting things. It wasn't fundamentally disrespectful. They didn't disrespect Brandon Lee. They didn't disrespect the original. It just wasn't that great. But disrespect? No, you're overdoing it. They didn't disrespect the original. You're saying that to kind of goad people on this one, and all right, you can get your little goad in, but no, sweetheart, they didn't disrespect it. It just wasn't that great. Disrespect means they're mocking it. They didn't mock this movie. I find that's disingenuous.
Of the original The Crow, who lost his life as a result of the filming of that movie.
And I'll be honest with you. I'll just be brutally honest with you. Brandon Lee is that movie. Because Brandon Lee is the only reason I can watch that fucking movie. Are you kidding me? That movie was so horrifically acted, so terribly directed, to the point where I actually wanted to fucking just say, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" Brandon Lee did everything. Brandon Lee is the entire reason that movie is fucking good. It ain't because it's age bad for people. No, it just genuinely wasn't that great. If it wasn't for Brandon Lee, that movie would have just been, well, like every other movie since the Brandon Lee movie. It's a tragedy because can you imagine if Brandon Lee was alive? We'd be watching John Wick versus Brandon Lee right now. But no, just tragedy, tragedy. Yes, you want to know why I said that? Chad Stahelski is the one who does uh the John Wick movies. He's the big head behind that. Brandon Lee was like his best friend. So it is actually a sad story. And I always talk about that because it is really, really sad and shit. But it's why I'm a little annoyed they never asked Chad Stahelski to ever do The Crow. I don't understand why. I think it's a fucking easy decision. He also wants to do Blade. They won't let him do that. I don't understand Hollywood. You guys don't ever like to make good decisions on anything. You like it the hard way, and I don't know why. Do you guys just not like making money?
And I have to acknowledge my own bias that The Crow happens to be my favorite movie of all time. I've made several
Not my favorite movie of all time, not even my top 30. But I respect that movie because of what Brandon Lee did. It's probably one of my top 5 greatest performances of all time of an actor. Movie itself, though, nah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. That shit was suspect as fuck. And I say that not as a joke. I say that because it's how good Brandon Lee played it. But let's just be real here for a minute. Yo, the rest of that movie was corny as shit. And I don't know. I watched that shit from back to end to review it, bro. Whew! My God, that acting on some of y'all.
full videos about it. If you want to watch a really good one, I actually interviewed somebody who wrote a fantastic book about the film's production. You can check that out. The Crow reboot slash remake, even in terms of the regular moviegoer that isn't attached to the original The Crow in a pretty much unhealthy way as I am, it was an objectively bad film. And yet, in the spring of that
Okay, but what you just showed does not help your point. Okay, let me show you why that doesn't help your point, sweetheart. Let me play it again.
pretty much unhealthy way as I am, it was an
That's literally the opposite of what you're saying. If it was so horrible and you're gonna show me the popcorn meter, that's 62%. That means it's pretty okay. Over half means people didn't hate it. Did they love it? No. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, don't be disingenuous. Yeah, you're a big Crow fan, but did we both watch the same movie? It wasn't that bad. Now we didn't love it, but me and Chris talked about it. We didn't hate the movie. We just didn't like it. It's not a bad, terrible, god awful, disrespectful movie. Okay, that's a little bit no. See, that's just disingenuous. I don't believe that you thought it was that bad. I just think that you and I had the same opinion of this. It wasn't good. We know it wasn't going to be good, but come on, really? You're talking this is horrible? It was just that off? No, come on, dude. I'll tell you right now, this is the second best Crow I've ever seen because the other ones are just so much goddamn worse in comparison.
objectively bad film. And yet, in the spring of that year, when they re-released The Crow for the 30th anniversary of the film, there was not one theater that was empty. They released
And I can believe that. I can completely believe that, of course. Like I said, it's funny with the new Crow. I felt like Bill Skarsgård had to carry that pile of shit, but it just wasn't that bad. I think you guys some of y'all are overreacting to that to it, man. Like a lot of you guys like to use your nostalgia as a reason to shit on something, but I'm being honest with you, guys. Brandon Lee was the entire reason that movie was not like a 10 times worse version of Spawn, and Spawn was a better movie. It's just that they didn't have one thing to save their ass like The Crow did. Brandon fucking Lee's god level performance. I don't care if he was dead or not. He is that movie. Point blank. I'm being honest. And personally, I think Spawn was 10 times better acted than from the entire cast than The Crow. The problem is, again, no disrespect to my man because he will beat my ass in 13 different languages. I'm not disrespecting that man. Do not think I'm disrespecting Mr. Clown Killer over there. I'm not. I'm not the Joker, okay? But all right. There's two people I consider to be Spawn. It's him and Keith David. And I don't want my foot shoved up my ass and then taken out through my mouth to be shoved up my ass again. Okay? So let's keep it at that.
released it, 2 showings on one day, $5 tickets, and every single seat was sold. I know they just re-released Interstellar a few months ago, and I saw the seat charts were packed for that one as well. I think that what Hollywood needs to learn is that most of our beloved films are beloved for several reasons, and we're not sitting here thinking, man, you know what would be great if you remade this or continued it in a way that really like sucked the soul out of what I loved about it. See, because there's too much quality.
And by the way, if we're gonna be honest, you bring up Mufasa is also kind of stupid in one aspect because I'm kind of done watching this. I'm not big on the idea of bringing Mufasa for one reason. Why? Mufasa wasn't a remake. Mufasa was a spin-off. It wasn't a remake. What was Mufasa a remake of? They didn't make a movie. I don't know if they made a movie like that animated at all. Lion King 2 wasn't about that. Lion King 3 wasn't about that. So what you talking about, Willis? But anyways, I just wanted to just cover this. It wasn't that bad of a video. Everyone's like ripping on it, like from certain circles. But other than that, like some of the things that I did have an issue with, guys, this wasn't that bad of a video. And honestly, it's what we all agree on. Guys like me and Chris would love to have some of these classics re-released in the theaters. Dude, we will be there day one for Cars re-released. Car Vibrations for 2 hours in IMAX. Yes. Sign my retarded ass up. I would love to see fucking Nemo in theaters, dude. I never got to see it in theaters. If I did, I clearly couldn't fucking remember. These are classics that I love that I would like to see on the big screen for the experience. But that's just my take on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If not, well, that's not really my problem. Y'all be whatever, beautiful, or I don't know. Just don't be stupid, dude. There. Also, I just wanted to say, thank you guys for 200 subs. This is amazing. I hope we can keep building, and good night.
Please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Also support other channels affiliated with this one. I have no channels affiliated with this channel. Sonic the Hedgehog is a beta male. Shut up, Bianca.